to Spiritual Hygiene with Josie Bray. I'm Josie, your host and guide. I'm taking your questions about physical, spiritual, and emotional health. And today I have a question from Selena in Brooklyn, New York. And Selena writes, "Dear Josie, I've heard people say to practice gratitude every day. And I've had a gratitude practice for a while now, but it feels repetitive and boring to me, almost like I'm just making a list. I've heard that doing this every day is important, but I feel like I'm just not getting it right. Do you have any advice?" Selena, thank you so much for your question. This is a really interesting topic because like many practices that are encouraged, particularly in New Age communities, I feel like this one comes from, but some of my Christian relatives also have a gratitude practice. Sometimes these practices can feel empty if we're kind of approaching them from an intellectual perspective. So of course, you could every day list the things you're grateful for, but if you're not feeling grateful, then that list feels a little empty or, as you say, list-like. So here's a technique you can use when you're practicing gratitude that tends to work a little bit better. So the first thing I'll have you do is imagine, and then you can see I'm already starting to do it. Imagine or think of something in your life that you're grateful for. So see if you can really find that in your mind's eye. And I'm closing my eyes right now because I find it easier to imagine things when I do that. So when I close my eyes and imagine something that I'm grateful for, I'll use myself as an example. I'm imagining right now my home. I'm in my home right now, but I'm really grateful for my home where I live. Now, I could just list that. I'm thankful for my home, right? But I'm not gonna feel the gratitude about it until I get really specific and granular. So here are some ways that you can supercharge your gratitude practice or make it so that your gratitude practice has a little more potency. So I'm extremely grateful for my home, but in order to really feel that gratitude, I need to start imagining it in specific. So what are the things I'm grateful for? Well, my long-term partner who I live with had the foresight when we moved to this house. He knows that I love raspberries, and he had the foresight of getting a bunch of raspberry canes and planting them in the backyard. So one of the things I'm grateful for is fresh picked raspberries right off the plant for most of the summer. And where I am right now, it's not summertime. So I can remember the taste of those raspberries in my mouth. So if I engage my senses, that helps with the gratitude practice, right? I can remember the taste of it. I'm also really grateful for this backyard that we have. And when I'm in the backyard, my partner is also a bit of a bird nerd. So we have multiple bird feeders in the backyard. And so one of the things that I'm grateful for in my home is the ability to watch all the different birds and also to listen to bird song. So I'm grateful for my home. But I'm really grateful for the birds. And so I can remember what it looks like to see all those birds at the feeder. And I can remember what it sounds like to hear the bird song in my backyard. A third thing that I'm grateful for in my home is the ability to have an office in my home where I work out of. I see clients from this office, and I also shoot videos from this office, and I also take Zoom calls from this office. So one way I can really appreciate my home is by actually looking around this room, looking around my actual office, and seeing here the things that I have curated in my office. So you get really specific about the things you're grateful for. And then, this last piece of it is to feel that in your body. So what I've been noticing as I've been describing for you the things about my home that I love is I'm starting to feel my heart. I actually feel my heart getting a little softer and a little warmer. And if that's difficult for you to do, you could, name the thing you're grateful for. See if you can imagine it in detail with your senses. And then just ask yourself, where do I feel that in my body? So for me, for Josie right now, I feel it in my body, in my heart. But I also feel it in my legs, because as I'm naming my home, it's reminding me how grounded and stable I feel when I'm here. And so I'm feeling my feet and my legs kind of root into the earth. And now I'm really starting to feel thankful for this home. This home for me is abundance in action. It's amazing. I can't believe that I live in this home. I feel so lucky. So that is how you can get specific with your gratitude practice. And I'm just using myself as an example. If you were here, I would probably interview you, and ask you those questions. But I'm saying these questions aloud so that you can use them for your own gratitude practice. I hope that helps, Selena, and thank you so much for your question. If you, dear watcher, dear listener, dear reader, have a question about spiritual, emotional, or physical health that you would like an answer to, feel free to shoot me an email at hello@josiebray.com. And you can also access my free anxiety release bundle by going to my website, www.josiebray.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.